board. All right, so our responses we see describe what the vertex of a parabola and the axis of symmetry are in a quadratic. Vertex is the middle part of a parabola. Vertex is the center point of the parabola, and then parabola is a line on the graph. Yes, it is. Vertex is the middle point, the point that represents the axis of symmetry. The vertex of the parabola is the only point on the parabola that is an axis of symmetry, which is a line that goes to the middle of the parabola. Okay, someone with the correct definition of axis of symmetry is right there. So if I was looking at a graph, I mean, what's messed up? That's not. I did not just choose the long one. That's the only one that had both definitions on it.
Oh.
Did she? So if I have a parabola, because I didn't ask for the definition of parabola. Yes, the parabola is the line of the graph. The vertex is either. I'm surprised I haven't seen this word. Let me look down real quick before I just say that. Let's see if anyone wrote it. Graph.
Graph.
Okay. The vertex is either the maximum or the minimum. I'm surprised I did not see this word. Is it either the maximum or the minimum on a graph for the parabola? And the axis of symmetry is the line, the vertical line that would go in the middle of the parabola. Okay, and this is a Vux x equals equation. So whatever x equals number. This is information we have to know, okay? If we do not have the foundation, that's what makes algebra harder. When you don't have the foundation and understanding of things, then when we get to the more difficult stuff, you're trying to remember the steps we did. Well, no, if you have the foundation, the steps will just come along with it, okay? So we're gonna talk about, well, what if we had an equation in standard form, how to go from, find the vertex from standard form, okay? These two formulas are on your formula chart, but go ahead and write them down on your notes. So to find the vertex from standard form, we would use this equation. To find the x value, we would use negative b over 2a. And to find the y value, we would plug in what we got for x to find y. So before we dive into this, let's look at what standard form is. Standard form is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. We've used standard form for the past month and a half or so when we're doing quadratics. So we all should be familiar with a, b, and c. We used this when we did the quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so a, b, and c should be familiar. A is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant. Well, from the standard form to find the vertex, to find the x value, we would use negative b over 2a. Negative b over 2a. So we would have to identify what our a and our b are in standard form. So to find the x value, we use negative b over 2a. To find the y value, we would just plug in our x value. So this is just f of x. So this is saying plug in what you get for x into x to find your y value. So let's look at this example, y equals 2x squared plus 8x minus 9. What is the a value? 2. What is b? 8. And what is C? Negative 9. Okay, now that we've identified our A, B, and C, let's go ahead and find our vertex. So to find the x value, we use, so I'm going to just put x equals negative b over 2a. So to find that x value, I'm just going to plug this in. Negative 8, so that's my b value, divided by 2a. Well, my a value is also 2. So 2 times 2. So negative 8, 2 times 2 is 4. So negative 8 over 4 would give me what? Negative 2. So my vertex, the x value of my vertex is at negative 2. Quick question. Is this parabola facing up or is it facing down?
No.
Why? Because the what value is positive? A value. So the A value, my A value is positive, so I know that this parabola is facing up. So if I was doing a rough sketch, I know this parabola is facing up, and I know the vertex is at negative 2, and we need to find that Y value. Well, to find that Y value, I just need to plug my X value into my equation. So Y equals, for 2x squared plus 8x minus 9, I'm going to plug in that X value. So 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 minus 9. Well, guess what, guys? We have calculators, so let's just use them. But go ahead and write this down so you have it plainly in your notes what we are doing. So we're plugging in X, or we found for X, into our equation so we can find the corresponding Y value. So I'm just going to plug this into Desmos because I don't want to do the most here. So 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 minus 9. Negative 17. So the Y value that corresponds with this is negative 17. So my vertex, excuse you. Is at negative 17. I do that all the time. And like this one lady looked at me, I was like, sorry, I forgot I was in public. Don't worry.
I have really big grips, and I don't know how, but like it happened. And so she's like, oh my gosh, you need to stop. Or like she yells at me, but then she does the same thing. I'm like, what?
So here's my vertex, negative 2, negative 17. Now here's my question. Here's my challenge. Can someone, from this information, can someone figure out the equation in vertex form? It doesn't require any solving. It requires understanding your information. If I know my vertex is at negative 2, negative 17.
Can I try?
Yeah, of course.
So would it be 2 for the A?
Yes, sorry. Yes, it would be 2 for A. Okay, Y equals 2. Uh-huh.
And then, so it would be X plus 17. The opposite. Oh, wait, not 17, sorry. Oh, sorry, plus 2.
Yeah, X plus 2. Perfect.
Squared, and then minus 7.
Beautiful. Absolutely. So we have our A value. Our A value is 2. And then we have our H and K, and perfect. We know it's opposite, so X plus 2 squared, and then minus 17. So that's my equation in standard form, vertex, and vertex form. Beautiful. Okay, so I should not have more notes than you. This should be on your paper somewhere. Okay, wherever it is, I don't care. It needs to be somewhere. Okay. All right. So I need questions if someone's confused. Okay. So this is just me finding this information. Okay, this is just what we just did. So what I want you to do is find the vertex. So find the vertex of this equation. Find the vertex of this equation. This is in standard form, so you need to make sure you identify your A, B, and C first, and then use your vertex equations. To find the x, you would use negative b over 2a. And then when you find that, you'll plug it back into the equation to find y.
Miss Patterson,
Data?
when we find the x and we're trying to find y, do we plug the x value into the 3x squared and the 12x?
Yes.
Okay.
You got the answer. Don't be afraid to click that answer on the poll. It shouldn't be a decimal. Wait, huh? What did you do? So tell me what. Oh, 2a. 2 times a.
Oh.
Bless you.
then multiply.
So multiply
A
2 times. So you multiply 2 times A. So 2 times 3, which would be 6. So it'd be 12 over 6, negative 12 over 6. All right, so I'm getting people going here. We've got 2 people answered. All right, all right. All right, at this point, everyone should have at least the X value done. With the X value or the Y value?
Y value.
Okay, so to find X value, you should use negative B over 2A. You should have identified your A, B, and C. So negative 12 over 2 times 3.
Can we put this equation in decimals?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I have a question. Are we taking EOC and star?
EOC is star. It's the
Okay,
same
okay,
thing.
okay.
It's just EOC because this is the very last star test you have to take for math. So that's why it's called EOC. So everyone should get a negative 2 as your X value. For your Y value, you're plugging in X in. So F of negative 2 would be 3 times negative 2 squared plus 12 times negative 2 plus 10. I have a calculator. I'm going to use my calculator. 3 times negative 2 squared plus 12 times negative 2 plus 10. And my Y value is negative 2. Use a calculator. That took me 10 seconds, not even. So F of negative 2 equals negative 2. So the Y value is also negative 2. So D, good job. Everyone who answered before I answered it myself, good job. All right, one more. I'm going to give you less time. Find the vertex from this equation. Before we do that, let's identify our A, B, and C. What's our A?
X squared.
What's the coefficient in front of X squared? Because X squared is not A. The coefficient in front of X squared is A. So what is A? 1. Boy, then speak up. What's B?
8. Negative.
Negative 8. And what's C? 2. All right, go ahead and find your vertex.
So 2 negatives will make positive. Right?
2 negatives would make a positive. Good observation.
So if it's already negative, it'll just stay a negative.
So it so the 2 negatives will end up canceling out to make a positive. Because it's negative B over 2A. Well, since B is negative, negative negative would make a positive. Absolutely. Awesome. So keep working if you're still going. I'm just gonna do the x value, which everyone should be at already. So the x value is negative b over 2a. So negative b is negative 8 divided by 2a. Well, negative, all this is positive 8 over 2 would be 4. And then when I plug it back in, 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 2. Using my calculator, I get negative 14. Good job, everybody. Okay. Now, we did this last class, so I'm not going to do every single example. Okay. But what if we have a graph and we want to figure out the vertex form and standard form equation from the graph? Well, what did we do last class? We found the vertex, we found another point on the graph, and we plugged it in. So that's what we're going to do again today. But instead of doing all the examples, though, we're only going to do one. And then we're going to do one last example, and then I'm done. Okay? So from this particular graph, I want everyone to identify the vertex. So everyone in your head, get what the vertex of this graph is. So you need to look at the graph and figure out where the vertex is. To what? To what? Like, what's the order pair? To what? 2, 3. Okay, 2, 3. Now here's my question. What did the vertex, which variables? H and K. Thank you. I couldn't figure out the question I was trying to ask. H and K. Perfect. So this is my H and K. Now let's find another point on the graph. Give me another one.
4
5, 6.
and
No.
7.
4, 7. All right. Here's another point on the graph. 4, 7.
You could have did 6, 7.
I could have done what? Yeah, X has to go first. So 4, 7. All right. Now that we have this, do y'all remember how to use these to find the equation?
Yeah.
All right, do it. Okay. So you have an X and a Y, you have an H and a K, plug it into my vertex form equation and solve for A so we can get the vertex form equation. Try it. Try it with that. Try it. And then everyone should have notes from last class. So this should be in your notes. Okay. So you're plugging in your H, your K, your X, and your Y. And I'll write this out where instead of it saying f of x, it says y. So y equals a x minus h squared plus k. So use this information, this equation.
Okay.
Where's my Rodolfo? Mi Rodolfo.
So once you can put it into vertex form,
Huh?
once we can put it like into vertex form with everything laid out, like the picture, is that it?
Well, you need to solve for A. Because, right, when we, oh, you did? Now I want you to write the vertex form equation and then go put it in standard form. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, because we did it in word form. So which one was? Because there was one above it, there's one under.
I think in the word problem, the first one was HK and the second one was XY. When we did it the other day.
Would it be plus? No, minus.
Mhm. Okay, I know you're not done. I just want someone to tell me how to start this. Go ahead, babe.
We're gonna start with 7 equals A. And for parentheses 4 minus 2
Mm-hmm.
is opposite squared plus 3.
Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna stop there. I just make sure you everyone set it up correctly. So we plugged in our X and our Y and our H and our K. Yes, Noah?
I kind of switched up. That's still be the same.
You switched up what, baby?
I switched up the 1 and 2.
Technically it won't matter, but I would just try not to do it in the future. Because technically, even if you switch it up, it'll just give you the negative versus the positive. But when you square it, it's gonna always be positive. So
Miss Patterson, where did the 7 come from?
we used this value right here. We chose this point 4, 7 to plug into our equation. We could have chose any point on the line, but this is what we just chose as a class. And so that 7 is the Y value.
F of X with the 7, but wouldn't it just replace the X with 4?
Okay, so f of x means Y. So that's why I replaced Y with f of x so that no one will get confused. So f of x represents Y. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. So y'all did it different than the middle schoolers. If I remember correctly, y'all started with the positive 3, right? Okay. So what do I do with this? Subtract 3 for both sides. That gives me 4 equals A times 4 minus 2 squared. Okay, what did y'all do after that? All right, so 4 minus 2. Perfect. So it's just 2. So 4 equals A times 2 squared. Then what did y'all do?
Then you raise the 2 to 2.
Perfect. So then I raise it to the power. So 4 equals A times 4. And then what?
And then you divide the 4 by 4.
Perfect. Divide both sides by 4. So A equals. Good. A equals 1. Did y'all, Alexa, you get that? A equals 1? Okay, look at what you did. Sophia, did you get that? Okay. Zoomies, did y'all get that?
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay. So my equation is Y equals, I'm going to just put 1 here, but you wouldn't see 1. 1 times X minus 2 squared plus 3. Okay. Yay. That's vertex form. How do I put in standard form? Not yet.
Oh wait,
Come on, babies. Come on. Give it someone.
we do it in the box.
Yeah, the box.
I
We
was
did.
trying to figure out the next step. And
Yes.
I stopped exactly right there. I think I know where I went wrong, but isn't the 2, the exponent 2 in the area supposed to go to the 4 and the negative 2?
So you could do that. No, don't do that. No, do what's in. So always follow like PEMDAS order. So first do what's in the parentheses, then do the exponent. Yes, because I would. Yeah, yeah. All right. So then, thank you. I need to do x minus 2 squared first. So I need to multiply x minus 2. Yeah, so x minus 2 times x minus 2. So x squared.
Negative 2x.
And I'm going to, and just because I think last time we were a little confused about this, so I'm just going to say something about it now. These 2 numbers right here are like terms, so I can combine them. And I think some people were confused how it was just like, oh, this is this. So this is x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, this is what this combines to give me. So over here, let me just write it out right here. Y equals 1 times x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 3. What would be the next thing I do?
And you then distribute.
Yes, then I distribute. Now, I'm just going to show distribution, but if I multiply this by 1, that's not doing anything. Okay, so that would just be y equals x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 3. Then what?
Then you combine
Oh, you are just singing to my heart this morning.
like this.
Let's go. So combine like terms, so the 4 and the 3 would give me 7. So my equation in standard form,
Like so much I'm hungry.
it would be y equals x squared minus 4x plus 7. Okay, so my vertex form and my standard form. Here's it in vertex, here's it in standard. This is what you need to know how to do. This is what we need to know how to do. And we literally haven't really done much new things today. This is literally from last class. Okay, we are building on every single day. Adolfo. We are building on every day, and you need to keep up. This is why you can't get behind. This is why you can't fall asleep. This is why you can't get lazy, because it all builds on each other. All right, I'll step off my soapbox. Take a screenshot if you need it or whatever, but I need you to know this, because look what we're about to do. It's beautiful. Look at all this. Gosh. Okay, we're gonna skip this. I'm not gonna make you do that one or this one. Okay, because I like you. But we're gonna do this last one. You need to know how to do all of this and understand it, because you're about to get a word problem. I don't know why it's 8:22. I don't know, but whatever. I don't know why it's 8:22. That is ridiculousness. Okay. That's terrible. We should have been done 20 minutes ago. Yes. All right, anyways. All right. But guess what, guys? You only have one problem to do today, in terms of assignments. So
It's like 5 questions
No.
in one.
no. All right, let's read this problem. Let's conquer it, and then let's get the stuff done. A basketball was thrown off a 30-foot roof. So Noah was standing on a 30-foot roof and threw a basketball off of it. Okay? 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 It reached a maximum height of 35 feet at 2.5 seconds. Write an equation that represents this problem.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this. Maximum.
Would
Greater.
Huh?
that be 8?
Would we just use the greater than or equal to symbol?
I want you to think, what word is synonymous with maximum other than minimum? What? Vertex. When I see this word maximum, I think of the vertex. This is talking about the vertex. So here's Noah standing on the roof.
Oh yeah.
He throws the basketball, and it reaches a maximum height of 35 feet at 2.5 seconds. And then it falls to the ground.
You are.
So this maximum is the vertex. At 2.5 seconds, it reached a maximum height of 35 feet. Here's your H, here's your K.
Oh, I mixed them. Whoops.
So the reason I know the H is 2.5 is because time is independent. So time would represent your X, the feet represents the Y. Now, let's talk about this point. He threw the basketball off a 30-foot roof. At what time, at what seconds did he throw the basketball? 0 seconds. So at 0 seconds, he threw the basketball off a 30-foot roof. Here's your X and here's your Y value. solve. So from this information, give me the vertex form equation. Yeah. So find out what that equation is based on this information.
Zero minus 2.5 is negative 2.5, right?
0 minus 2.5 is negative 2.5. Yes.
Right, so next for x, do we just put 0?
Yes.
So, for,
No, it's not.
Focus.
yeah, no, actually,
Oh
no.
my god.
Perfect. It's 30 minus 35.
Huh?
Negative 1. So we need a decimal point.
Yes, I believe so. Flushing.
Thank you.
Just write it in vertex form for the sake of time.
So it's gonna be decimal then?
Yes, it will be a decimal.
I think I messed up. So, we keep the 2.5 as the same whenever we're supposed to subtract from the 0.
So 0 minus 2.5 is negative 2.5.
Then 2.5, but 2.5 times 2.5 is 5.
2.5 times 2.5 is 6.25. You just added them together. I don't want the answer, so don't freak out. I'm not going ahead of anyone. Can someone from Zoom tell me how to set this up? Great job.
I can't.
Come on, Zoomies. Someone set
Okay,
up.
I can. Yeah, I can try.
All right, babe.
So, since the h and k is 2.5, or the h is 2.5 and the k is 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the x is 0 and then the y is 30. So to put that into an equation would be 30 equals a times, or I took away the 0 just because
Okay.
it's a 0. So I did a times 30 squared plus 35. So then I did plus 35 and made it minus 35. So I did 30 minus 35, which is negative 5. And then, so it's negative 5 equals a times 30 squared.
Hold on,
And 30 squared.
right here, where you put the x minus h, what did you put in for h?
H. Oh, I did 30.
Yes. So, no.
Let me do it.
No.
I haven't done anything.
I know, and I'm very proud of you for, I'm not proud of you for not doing anything. That's not what I meant. Huh?
You're not.
No, I just want Jaden to be able to fix it.
Miss, I'll even do the other
solved.
equation too. You want me to?
I can do it.
I know
Okay,
you-
wait.
Mhm.
So 2.5 squared is 6.25.
Yes. Okay. So let me just write this out.
We have to submit a picture for our work for the assignment today.
You will be submitting something. You'll see in a moment.
Just the graph.
Yes. Okay. And then you said subtract 35 from both sides. So I'm gonna pick up where you left off. And then from there, what did you say to do?
Oh, so then you do division. So then -5 divided by 6.25 is -0.8.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Jaden. So my equation would be -0.8 x minus 2.5 squared plus 35. Now,
Bro, I was about to do that, man.
I'm so sorry, Noah.
Go back to
If I graph this on Desmos, and again, I'm sorry, I'm not really sure why this is taking so long. If I graph this on Desmos, it gives me a parabola that looks like this. Here's Noah right here. Noah's standing right here. Here's my maximum height right here. Here's my question. I'm talking about a basketball. I'm talking about time. When did, looking at this graph, when did the basketball hit the ground?
At 10 or 9.
Right here at 9.114. At 9.114 seconds, the basketball hit the ground. Now, if I was talking about domain here, domain, the x from the lowest x to the highest x. Usually when you say this is x is all real numbers, but we're talking about time in a basketball. Would this negative part right here matter at all? No, I can't have negative seconds. And if the ball hit the ground, does this right here matter at all? No, because I'm not going underground. So my domain here, if I was to write my domain out, my domain would be 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 9.114. Because this is when Noah started throwing the ball, and this is when the ball hit the ground. Now let's talk about the range. What is the bottommost point? 0, right? The ground. And what's the topmost point the ball reached? Feet. What's the topmost point it reached? 35. Because 2.5 is second. So if I was to write the range, it would be 0 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 35. This is the ground. And this is the maximum. Now, let's look at your assignment now.